I'm Rabbi Jay Karzen,
And I'm Rabbi Ruby Ray Karzen.
and Tape with Rabbi Doug is next.
We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug on your TV tonight.
But Daddy, I want to watch Monday Night Football.
Forget about Monday Night Football. There's no other thing we're gonna watch on Monday but Rabbi Doug. Yeah, Rabbi Doug on TV tonight. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. Oh, everybody talk about Doug.
Shalom and welcome to Tape with Rabbi Doug. It is a pleasure to have you with us, and even a greater pleasure to have my guests, Rabbi Jay Karzen, Rabbi Ruby Ray Karzen, who are definitely, without a doubt, our most popular guests. This is our 5775 taping, as we've taped every year for a number of years now, and what a momentous year for us to tape. This year, Rabbi Karzen just celebrated this week his 80th birthday. I've known him since he was a young man. He knew me since I was a little boy. But it really is unbelievable because you don't age. You really don't age. I'm not sure I know too many people who are the same age as you, and my father was just 3 years younger than you, who look as good as the two of you do.
Let me just say, Moses began his career at 80.
That's right.
He was 80 years old. He began his career.
That is absolutely true.
I'm still young.
You're still young. And Rabbi, you've also celebrated this past week, the two of you. Let me guess, is it 56?
58.
58. Your 58th wedding anniversary.
Right.
Your 58th wedding anniversary. What a
I
milestone.
introduced her as my first wife.
That's true. 58 years. Tell me, just for our viewers who know you, because so many of them know you, tell them about, I would love to go into this just for a few minutes at the beginning of the story. Tell them where you were in your lives 58 years ago when you met, and going into the rabbinate and where you lived. Talk about, your Iowa stint and stuff. I think a lot of people don't know how you ended up in Jerusalem today.
We met at Camp Mosheva, B'nai Akiva.
And at that time it was Indiana, before it moved to
Rolling
Wild Rose,
Prairie.
Wisconsin.
Rolling Prairie, yeah.
And when we got married, we decided that our motto would be, we will make a difference. I think that should be the motto of every married couple. We will make a difference. As we've been a couple, we were going to be a team. And as I always say, T-E-A-M, together each accomplishes more. And we decided we would be a team that very many rabbis' wives, Rebbitzens, don't want to get involved in the congregation. The rabbi is the rabbi and the Rebbitzen is something else. But we decided we'd be a team, and we lived in Iowa for seven years. Our children were born in Iowa. Then we came to Des Plaines, where we built a major congregation at one time of 500.
Tremendous.
500 families.
And I want to say, because of course that's where I grew up, I want to say that in building that congregation and having 500 families, there is no one, not even one from those 500 families that are around today that don't still consider you to be their rabbi, even though you've moved to Jerusalem. And none of them that, when I see them, don't say, have you talked to him lately? Please tell him I say hello.
We had a party the other night. Some former friends, or friends of long standing, made a party for us for our anniversary, my birthday. And they were talking about the impact that we obviously had on them. They now live in Skokie, many of them. They're all religious.
And a lot of them live right here in West Rogers Park in Chicago. And the amazing thing is that from this traditional synagogue, which at one point had a little Orthodox minion downstairs too, in that whole group of growing, B'nai Akiva was out there, Orthodox youth group, and rabbis, not just me, I mean rabbis have come from this congregation, and Orthodox families, these families, most of them that moved to Skokie and West Rogers Park, have all started out as traditional, shul-going, possibly kosher or turning kosher within that time, and are now very, very observant.
That's one of the most rewarding things about our rabbinical career in America, that so many people became observant, they became shomrei mitzvot of everything. Mikvah, Tarat HaMishpacha, and Aliyah, families.
And sent their kids to day schools, and I mean the whole...
So as we look back and reflect upon the years that were, it's a very rewarding feeling to know that we made a difference. we made a difference.
When I see a young man now starting out in the rabbinate, in the 30s or so, I always think to myself, you play the game right, you will have a wonderful, wonderful life. Because people really want to love their rabbi and rebbitzen. That's the secret. They want to love you. And just give them a chance and, go along and be a real role model, and you will have it made.
Well, I've never told you this, but I want you to know that, here, my daughter who was in seminary last year in Israel, living there for the year for her first year of college, is now in her second year of college at a major university here in the state, and in a dormitory apartment, a school outside of dormitory, but a school apartment, and, she attends Hillel, and Jet and Chabad, which are the three Orthodox entities in the town. And when she goes there, she tells me how involved the rabbis' wives are. The rabbi of the Hillel, and right away I say, you don't see that in Chicago. But my rabbi's wife was always involved as much as he was in the congregation, in activities, and with the congregants, with the holidays, with everything. And I say, those people will be successful because they have their wives by their side in the rabbinate. And I always consider that to be something that I compare to you when I don't see that in other places with other rabbis.
People have been writing us all through the years, or emailing, and whenever we meet them, they remember the Simchas Torah in our community with the marching for
parades to the nursing home.
And,
I'll tell you, the nursing home we used to march to is now called Glenbridge. It's owned by Sidney Glenrose Corporation, and Glenbridge, it's a beautiful home and well taken care of. But in those days, I remember that not only did we march there for Simchas Torah, but I used to go and help our dear friend who lives in Israel, Kenny Cohen, who used to run the Pesach Siddur in there because it was a kosher home, and I used to go and assist him at Pesach time for one Seder every year, and you introduced me to them to make that connection at the time with the old owners.
Also, the Slippers Night, that was always a major event in our community.
Very major.
So many things we did, we instituted, and we won awards for creative ritual innovations.
One of the things Main Township also did is in the smicha classes, the graduating classes, and the yeshiva, I used to teach the women. I used to teach how to be a Rebbitzen. What's the secret of being successful?
One of the things today that people turn to me for, and obviously everybody knows, everybody compares me to Rabbi Karzen. Everybody says, "Oh, Rabbi Karzen did that," or Rabbi Karzen,
protege.
all the time, and I'm always mentioning you. I'll tell a story at a funeral and I'll say, I heard the story when I was a teenager from Rabbi Jay Karzen, my Rebbe, when he lived in Chicago and I was growing up. So I constantly, and this I'll tell you one of the stories that I always tell is a story about when you're born, the baby's crying, everybody's smiling, and when you die, everybody's crying, and you can go with a smile because all the love surrounding you. So that's a story that I always tell and I attribute to you, among others, which I do. But this is a wonderful thing, and people hear me and they say, "Oh, you remind me," or "You mentioned Rabbi Karzen. I knew Rabbi Karzen." And
we sat in the restaurant the other day, twice this week, in the same restaurant in Skokie. And people kept coming up. We remember you officiated our wedding 30, 35, 40 years ago. And others said, we remember sermons that you gave, and that they just remembered us.
So I was doing a funeral a couple of weeks ago, and a couple walks up to me and says, "You did our wedding with Rabbi Karzen, you signed our ketubah when you were just a teenager." And I said, "Oh, so nice to see you again." I didn't remember them, but I said it because, out of being respectful to them. And
now we're remembering it's a new life. We started a new life.
It's a new life, but the same life, because in one way, you did not give up your love for the rabbinate. You did not give up your love for officiating and sharing simchas with families that you could make a difference in their lives. And Rabbi Karzen, if you don't know this, one of the things that he does is he will set up with you while you're in America to do your bar mitzvah at the Western Wall or the Southern Gate or at Masada or wherever those. And bat mitzvahs too, of course, and of course officiating weddings in Israel as well. And the Rebbitzen is an interior designer, and people come to her when they move to Israel or rent a long-term residence in Israel to decorate their homes and make them homely and kind and beautiful.
But I also do hotels,
and
yeshivot.
professional places.
Absolutely, many offices and things like that.
It's an amazing thing, but one of the things about the two of you, which is amazing, outside of your speeches and your sharing with families and everything, is that the two of you are also authors. Your book, which I'm flashing on the screen right now, is
Off the Wall.
Off the Wall, and tells stories about your life and displays throughout the rabbinate and going to Israel and stories, of the rabbinate in Israel. And your book, Cherry on Top, which is
Cherry
will show.
And what it is loving instructions on living a life that makes a difference.
And if you want to take a look at my interview with the rabbi or with the Rebbitzen about their books, just check it out at tvrabbi.com on the web, or Google Rabbi Doug and Rabbi Karzen and Rabbi Ray Karzen, and you can see those former shows on the web that we did talking specifically about those two books. It's an amazing book. I want you to know, people, your book now is a bestseller English language book
in
Israel, which is amazing. And I can't tell you how many people that didn't really know you on a personal level, but knew you, have read that book and say to me, I read her book. I love that book because it's so down to earth and real. So down to earth and real.
It's inspirational.
Inspirational. Telling you, it can tell you that you go through a lot of trials and tribulations in life, but if you look at everything from a different view, everything can be positive.
I just want to say that one of the things that we did all the years and still continue to do is kiruv. It's a word that's a magical word that
Very
Chabad has taken over, and everyone thinks of Chabad as the organization. Thus, kiruv means to bring people close to Judaism. But we've always been involved with kiruv long before Chabad was known for its kiruv work. We started that in Iowa, in Atumwa, Iowa, Council Bluffs, Iowa displays, and we're still doing it in Jerusalem this day.
It's amazing. And the idea is not to go to non-Jews and bring them into Judaism, but to take Jews and bring them closer to their Judaism, and it's a beautiful thing. I want to go to another subject and talk about Israel and your lives in Israel right now. Israel has been through many trials and tribulations. Just in the last year, the end of the Gaza war, which certainly turned the whole country upside down in many ways because of missiles, bombs being shot out over the whole country. I know it was your first real experience of a number of sirens going off on a regular basis, though there have been other incidents in the past. But this was something that you were looking for and frightened for, certainly on a regular basis during the Gaza war, because it was a constant thing going on. Did you keep track of how many sirens went off during the Gaza war?
In Jerusalem, there were only two.
There were only two in Jerusalem.
Only two in Jerusalem.
But so
Hundreds.
But
hundreds in other
the rest of the
places.
country was many, many places.
Let me just say this, we live in a dangerous neighborhood. I mean, it's a simple put.
You live in a dangerous world now. The whole world, look what happened in Sydney, look what happened in Belgium, look what happened in France, look what happens all over. We used to say we lived in a dangerous neighborhood. Now we really live in a dangerous world.
Yeah, it really is. But you go through life every day as if there's nothing wrong.
Yes, that's true. We live our lives, we get up in the morning, we do what we have to do.
Go where you have to go, see who you have to see.
We go to the theater, we go to the movies, we go to shiurim, lectures and classes that we are a part of.
Let me tell you, there have been a number of times when I've been sitting with a client in a carpet store or whatever, and all of a sudden we hear there was a suicide bomber. It happened on Jaffa Road. It happened a couple of other places. And you know what? I mean, it's obviously terrifying. This whole thing is happening a block away from you, at the moment. And you know what happens? You look at each other, you look around you, everything is going on, and the truth is, while they're outside, it's a horrible thing. You just have to put one foot in front of the other. You have to go to work, and there are ads that even during the Gaza war, it says, go to work, keep a normal life. That's the only way that we will survive, and that's what makes Israel.
We can't let them feel that they're winning,
right?
Because they hate us, and they have an idea that to be a martyr, to kill, is a mitzvah.
You have to die.
It's a godly thing, and ours is to live. We want to live and we want people to enjoy
Chai
life.
Bahem, live by it, yes.
Yeah, they think, they don't understand why we want to live, and they think it's such a wonderful thing to be a martyr and die for.
I understand completely. It's a crazy thing. The latest, I think, incident that shook up the Jerusalem world, that was in the news here in America everywhere, was I think it was 2 or 3 terrorists. They came into a Har Nof Jerusalem synagogue with guns and with hatchets, and actually killed a number of people and injured a number of other people before they were finally killed by people in the synagogue who were security forces and policemen who came. But a Druze policeman lost his life, an Israeli Druze policeman lost his life during that as
I
well.
would just say this, I visited all 4 families. I paid a shiva call as a representative of the Rabbinical Council of America, RCA, which I'm a co-president of in Israel, and the AACI, the Association of America's Canadians. We visited all of them, and one of the families, they had a sign on the wall when you came in, it says, please do not, please do not interview us, we accept this as the will of God. I'm not sure how many people can make such a statement and really believe it with their whole heart, but people accepted it, and as a result of that, the rabbinate in Israel decreed that there are certain people should come to the synagogues with guns now to protect the worshipers, and also cell phones on Shabbat. We're talking about Shabbat now, to have cell phones on so that if in an emergency you can immediately call the police or whomever.
So everybody becomes Hatzalah in Israel.
In our show, in a different neighborhood, we have guards outside the show now on Shabbat morning.
That was my next question. What has changed since then as far
Some
as security?
synagogues do, and others feel it's not going to happen. There's over 1,000 synagogues in Jerusalem. The fact that it happened in Har Nof at that one synagogue, it's such an unusual thing.
Compared to 14 synagogues on Tui Avenue in West Rogers Park.
Yeah. Evidently, this one synagogue, there's so many, on that one street, there must be a dozen or more synagogues. And they have it in that particular synagogue, which is a big one. I mean, people daven there all the time.
And people from prominent families, Tversky Soloveitchik family and others, it's really, it really hits home because it hits home, comes right to Chicago because half the Soloveitchik families in Chicago.
They were killed while they were davening Shemon Esrei, the holiest prayer with cows and tefillin.
But this is an aspect of Yerushalayim that we know and we accept and we learn to live with it, and that Kadosh Baruch Hu has to take care of. God has to help us. He really has to help us. But the other side of Israel and Jerusalem is the building and the spirit and that's really what.
So tell me, what is new in Jerusalem and Israel right now that people don't know about? Because we know that Jerusalem is built up, you see the walls of the old city, and then you look just a few blocks away and you see skyscrapers and beautiful buildings and bridges and hotels and light rail trains. And tell us what is new.
Let me tell you how to anybody who hasn't been in Jerusalem in the last 5 years, you won't know the place. First of all, the infrastructure. There are so many bridges and roads, and we drive along these things and you think that you are in Chicago. You really do. There are many, many overpasses, underpasses, new roads. We have the largest arena in the Middle East. It just opened and I forgot how many thousands of seats, but the pious arena, by us, the lottery, the pious really goes to all good works. One of them is this arena, and it's got, I think, 35,000 seats. It's one of the largest
Not quite, but
arenas.
it's the largest.
And so many new buildings. I don't know who's going to live in all these beautiful new luxury apartments.
Hopefully people who had
I just had on a lighter note, there was a Cinema City just opened. We have a gigantic movie complex, 21 theaters, with a dozen restaurants and
all
stores.
kosher.
Everything is kosher,
And
closed on
Shabbat.
And chandeliers in the lobby, popcorn. There's 7 popcorn stands to buy. You don't have to wait in line. I mean, this Jerusalem. People are coming in. This is Jerusalem.
But that, and of course you know about the Startup Nation and Waze and all these things that they have, that we constantly, one after the other. But on the other side, Israel is very special, because I brought you this, because I know that you would ask about something like this. We're very interested, we're talking about New Jerusalem, future Jerusalem, everything we're saying, but look what happened here. They found, and this is just a couple weeks ago, a 2,800-year-old farmhouse. Now, what did they mean by that? They found an original kibbutz. You know, Israel was an agricultural society, and these are all little houses of people who used to live in like a kibbutz setting, and they found mikvaot, and they found synagogues, and
So
they
this
found
was a
everything.
Jewish settlement from the 8th century before the Common Era,
Exactly.
during the Assyrian conquest.
Right
It's
there,
just
not
amazing.
far from our house, in Gush Etzion. I mean, is that incredible? Is that incredible?
That's what-
So
So I just had the vice mayor of Gush Etzion on my TV show airing right now. So
Yeah, but
amazing.
this is the newest big project that's been unleashed. The
Wow.
newest one.
Wow.
Beautiful.
And artifacts as well, I
Everything.
understand.
Gold coins with Judah Maccabee on it. Gold coins with all kinds of things that we know. Nobody can say that we weren't there. It's proof. It's in the ground and it's proof. It's an incredible find.
Just amazing.
Incredible.
What is the not going deep into detail, but what is the feeling about politics in Israel now? Are people happy with politics? Are they concerned with politics? Are things stable right now? You read a lot of things in the news and you see a lot of articles about it.
Well, in America, we're here now, of course, and nobody really is affected by what goes on with Obama and so forth. Whether you like or do not like him as president, it doesn't affect you necessarily personally in most areas of life. But in Israel, everything affects you. Whatever happens, we are going to be very much personally affected. And right now, there's going to be new elections coming up in a few months. And Netanyahu will probably be re-elected.
I want you to know the prime minister lives like 4 blocks from our house. The Knesset is across the street. I mean, you know, every Sunday morning they have a meeting of the cabinet. And if we don't like what they're doing, I really could take a tomato and throw it across and hit them. But it's a difficult situation. The truth is we're spending millions of shkalim, and we're not sure.
He's 65 years old. There are people that think we should change the leadership, a younger leadership. But the truth of the matter is, there is nobody really on the other side
At the
that is
moment.
recognized as a genuine leader, statesman who can speak to world leaders. And Netanyahu is the only one at the moment that is possibly.
And he's very eloquent. And he's very eloquent. There's no question.
You
There's no
know,
question. You know, he comes and speaks to us every year. I see Netanyahu every year because I attend the APEC conference in Washington, which I will be at again in just a little over 2 months. Just a little less, I'm sorry, a little less than 2 months. I will be in Washington for 3 days for the APEC conference, and Prime Minister Netanyahu will speak to us and be there is the plan, as he has. And President Obama has spoken to us too. So you're in the room with him, very close to him, listening to him speak, and you can't help but be in awe. I mean, when he speaks, he commands, and when he speaks to Congress, and they give him a standing ovation because he knows exactly what to say and how to say it. It's hard to say that anybody could replace him in that position right now in the world community and certainly speaking.
there are people up and coming. They're too young. There are people in the 40s,
Naftali
early
Bennett is
50s.
an upcoming.
Yeah, he's very good. There are people who will be coming up. But right that Danny Danon just lost the whole election.
Now,
But however,
there's
he's probably it right
There's
now.
talk that Herzog has become more popular than he's ever been in being the opposition party. He was on my TV show just recently. I've actually had him on twice before, once a while ago and once since he became the leader of the Labor.
The chief rabbi.
Right, he's grandson of the chief rabbi, and
Former chief rabbi.
and I had Sippy Livnian also in the past, who was also a leader of labor. What do you attribute his growth in popularity, Herzog's growth in popularity, coming closer to the Netanyahu popularity, but not quite making it?
But they're left-wing people.
Right.
They're all to the left. And
Because
the
much
mood of the
of
country
the
now.
country is left wing.
Yeah. But the mood of the country now is to the right. We say, in my opinion, in our opinion, it's to the right. And Netanyahu represents the right, and they represent the left. And if the left wins, we have a major problem.
Big change that would be. So tell me right now, as far as, the peace process goes, as far as the Secretary of State, who also spoke to us last year, coming to Israel and coming to the Palestinian territories to speak, and now they're talking about possible actual sanctions against the Palestinian territories because of Hamas and terrorists, even just the words coming out of them.
Hamas, who everyone says he's our peace partner, he's no different than the Hamas. They're not
partners.
But they're not peace partners with us.
Right.
They hate us. They want to do everything. They want to destroy Israel. They say it openly in Arabic to their own people. So we're talking about.
At the moment, there is no answer. Not every question has an answer.
Right.
At this point in time, 2015, there is no answer.
We all want peace. There isn't a person in Israel that wouldn't do anything for peace. But there's a question of what do you have to give up? What kind of shit?
There wouldn't be peace if we gave up anything. There wouldn't be peace. That's the issue. The issue
if we
is
left, there would be peace.
If we left, there would be peace. That's about
I
it.
don't agree with that. I really don't. They'd find something else.
They'd find something else. Right.
Whatever goes
It'll
wrong,
never be
it's our
enough.
fault.
There's no answer.
Right.
There is no answer.
Well,
at the moment.
I can't thank you enough for being on the show. It's been amazing as always to be here in your 58th year of marriage, in your 80th year, in your birthday, and just to celebrate those just the same week as your celebrations and be here together with you is very special for me. And you know that just anytime I'm able to be with you is very special. And I want to personally thank you for spending, having my daughter with you a number of times while she was in Israel. And
waiting for other daughters.
Yes,
other daughters.
My other daughters hopefully will spend time with you in Israel as well. And that was very special for her because she, remembers you as a little girl visiting Chicago when you were here, and then to be able to, spend the year living in Israel last year and spend time with you was very special for her and for her friends. And I can't thank you enough. And I want to thank all of you for being with us. Remember, you can check out our website, www.tvrabbi.com, where you can see our former shows on the web and see the shows not only that we've done over the years, but the shows which include talking about each of your books. And if you're interested in their books, you can email me or anything about them or questions for them at info@tvrabbi.com. I will forward the email to them. They will get back with you with information about their books or about any questions that you have for them in Israel, or even send it to them.
Autograph it.
All right, there you go, and get it personalized. I just can't. I can't do anything but wish you both only mazel bracha hatzlacha and gesund and briut, good health for many, many more years to come, for many more than 40 more years, and you two should be together, gesund and swansik in good health. And I want to thank all of you for being with us. Hope to see you next time, same place. Right here on Taped with Rabbi Doug. Shalom, everyone, and Hatzlacha and Nesiyat Tova back to Israel to the Karzens. Shalom, everyone.
And I'm talking about Rabbi Doug. Talking about Rabbi Doug. Talking about Rabbi Doug on the TV show. Well, he's the rabbi for me. Anytime you need. You're gonna get married or you're gonna die. Gonna see Rabbi Doug. Gonna see Rabbi Doug. Gonna see Rabbi Doug. Gonna see Rabbi Doug on the TV tonight.
This has been a Taped with Rabbi Doug production.